Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here with my SPL Week 1, the Smogon Premier League Week 1. I'm actually playing the ORAS tier for at least Week 1. If you guys don't know what SPL is, basically it's a tournament on Smogon where teams are drafted, players are drafted rather, I'm a player obviously, and players are drafted and for a specific team, and then you play a specific tier. Me, I've always played whatever tier my team needs me on. I've been on Wolfpack I think for the past 4 years almost. About 4 years. I've been on the Wolfpack. I've been retained by them for about 4 years. And this week I'm playing Poek. Now, funny thing is, Poek is actually ranked number 1 in ORAS OU, and I'm ranked number 2. Which is like, wow, you ranked me number 2? That's cool. I didn't expect to be ranked so high. Because I haven't played ORAS in forever, nor did I do much with ORAS on Smogon. But we're playing the rank 1 guy, week 1. I'm using the Jam Special. I've used this team probably all of ORAS on any Smogon tournament I've been on. I don't even care if people counter team it. I always adjust it based on how my opponent plays. So I've made a few adjustments to this team. I have Whirlwind Hippowdon. I have Bulk Up Talonflame over a Swords like it usually is. It's usually also Stone Edge Hippowdon. I have Knock Off Toxic Ferrothorn because I made Starmie Reflect type simply because he likes Choice Band T-Tar a lot. And Knock Off and Toxic on Ferrothorn help me deal with Mega Slowbro as well as getting rid of the item on Rotom and Heat Ran for Bulk Up Talonflame. And then I also changed the anti from HP Fire. So my game plan after looking at his team, which is also a very old team, I know it specs Hydreigon, but my game plan is to basically try and weaken Hydreigon to the point where Kefarigus can sweep, or weaken Rotom or Garchomp enough to the point where Talonflame can sweep. So we're going to lead off with our Diancie, as if we Mega Evolve and Protect turn 1, it's a no drawback play. Only thing he can do is lead off with his own Metagross into that. He leads off with Rotom as I go for Protect, and this is great because that is 1 out of 8 Hydro Pumps gone. So that helps my Talonflame a lot more in the background. I'm going to switch on to my Ferrothorn. He doesn't Volt Switch or go for Will-O-Wisp. He plays it safe and goes for another Hydro Pump, which again is great because we're wasting 2 Hydro Pumps right here. So he only has 6 left. So I figured he would go right for the Will-O-Wisp right now, and rather than Leech Seeding something upon switching, I'd rather knock off the item on either Rotom, Garchomp, or Clefable. Knocking off the item on Rotom helps Talonflame, helps Diancie to a KO always, so he goes right for Will-O-Wisp as I am able to get rid of his leftovers, and that's again great for my my Talonflame in the back. Now, what I can do is just go for a double knockoff. This Ferrothorn used to have spikes. I mean, he's not running Hazard Control, so maybe spikes would have been better in this game. But I'm going to be able to go for knockoff again as he goes out to Garchomp. And immediately as I knock it off, I see Yache Berry. And I don't take Rocky Helmet. So I know this is more than likely SD Garchomp. They are SD if they run Yache Berry. And my gut is telling me go Diancie here, because he's going to Swords Dance. I'm using a fatter team. He's definitely going to Swords Dance up. This is SD Garchomp 100%. I want to go Diancie so badly. I want to make the aggressive play. But Diancie puts in so much work for his team. His only switching is Metagross, so I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to make the safe play and go right out to my Hippowdon, which isn't bad either, considering I get up Sand and I have Whirlwind, so I could take any attack he wants to go for. I don't want him to have Outrage though, and I want to see if he has that, though he's probably Dragon Claw just because he does have the Yache Berry. So I'm going to go back onto my Ferrothorn and sack my Ferrothorn to the Earthquake. He doesn't go for his Rocks, so I could have... He probably just wanted off damage before I phase him out, since that is his answer to... Hippowdon is my answer to Metagross. So I lose Ferrothorn, but it did its job. It got off the knockoff on Garchomp. I know he's now offensive with more than likely Dragon Claw, maybe Stealth Rock. Earthquake could be Fire Fang. And... it got rid of the item, so I can go out to my Diancie. I can just throw off a Moonblast right here. He makes the pivot into Tornadus, which is a good play, maybe just in case I wanted to go for Earth Power, predicting Metagross, as I could 2-hit KO it in regular form into Mega form. I decide to Protect here just because I don't want to risk him having Iron Tail. Makes the good play going right out to Metagross. I don't mind him making the aggressive play because I do have a Powdon as a switch-in. It is a rather safe switch-in. This gives me the opportunity to get up my Stealth Rock. So throws off a Meteor Mash. Isn't going to be doing too much. Right here, I could go for Slack Off or get off my Stealth Rock. Because Metagross is more of a threat, I decide to get up, go for Slack Off just in case he wants Ice Punch me there. Goes to Hydreigon. Pretty positive this is Specs just because I know the team. So I know that I could take 1 Dark Pulse and I want to get up my Rocks. He has no Hazard Control. This would get off 25% on Tornadus. And this is also, you know, part 1 into weakening his team for Kefarigus to sweep him. So we're going to get up our Rocks as he goes right for these Specs Dark Pulse, doing a hell of a lot to me. I'll go out to my only Dark Resist on the team, which is the Diancie. I'm going to take a lot from this. However, Diancie's going to do some damage back. Deancey's going to do some damage. So I don't care if he goes out into Metagross right here. I actually pull a double out into my Hippowdon, predicting him to want to go Metagross as he goes Tornadus or Tornadus. Either one was an option as he tries to pivot into Tornadus. Tornadus is pretty expendable versus my team considering Deancey beats it and he doesn't have Iron Tail. But this still does give me a slack off with my Hippowdon, which does allow me to combat the Metagross later on. So what I'm going to do now is actually go for the Whirlwind, expecting him to want to switch out, or U-turn out rather, into either Rotom or Garchomp. Does go Garchomp, which is good. Chip damage on Garchomp is still good for the +2 Shadow Ball later, and I force him out into Hydreigon, so not too bad for me considering, again, Stealth Rock damage and Sandstorm damage is what I need. I'm going to switch out to my Deancey. With the Sandstorm boost, I do take a Dark Pulse, so it does give me that Spadef boost, and he does take 2 turns of Sand. So again, we're just wearing down that Hydreigon, and what I decide to do here is just throw off a Moonblast. Weakening Metagross to the point where I don't have to boost up to knock it out is also solid, and that's about the range that I need. So after Stealth Rock, he goes down to my Shadow Ball from Cofagrigus. So reveals the Thunder Punch right here. Because the Paladin is so obvious, I'm actually going to predict him to Ice Punch, and I'm going to pull the switch from my Pokemon into a Pokemon that would go down to Thunder Punch, or at least be severely weakened, as I'm able to go out to my Starmie. And this is a good turn for me because there's no way he risked Metagross, his way of dealing with my Deancey, getting burnt by Scald. So I'm going to throw off a Scald as I am able to burn Tornadus. Amazing. Burning Tornadus is great. Wearing it down. I don't really care if he knocks me off. I just want to go for Recover right here. I need to be healthy enough to be able to take on the Metagross. Also, if he goes Hydreigon at any given point, it's going to be taking Stealth Rock plus the burn damage. So right here I decided to go for a Scald, as it would be able to knock out Tornadus after burn. And also hit Rotom for a bit of damage. He goes into Clefable. So this is weird because what I could do here is go Talonflame immediately into Talonflame and start bulking up, or I can go Hippowdon just to scout for the Thunder Wave. And I decided to do just that. Hippowdon does have Whirlwind, so I'm not too worried about that. He doubles out, makes a very solid double into Rotom Wash. But again, all that chip damage, that Stealth Rock, the fact I knocked them off is huge for me. I'm going to switch out into my Starmie because I don't want to get Hydro Pumped or Will-O-Wisp as he goes for another Hydro Pump. And again, that's still great for me. Starmie can take a Volt Switch, and we're still stalling him out of his Hydro Pump. So Starmie can take a Volt Switch right here, and I know it can. So I'm going to recover as he goes for that Volt Switch. And he brings in Hydreigon. Again, everything is working the way I want it, because Hydreigon's going to be taking Stealth Rock. It's going to be taking Sand. And I decided at this point, it's in my best interest to go for Scald. Scald has the potential to burn him, which does 100% put him in range of the Dark Pulse after Stealth Rock. But I am able to get off that chip damage, and after Stealth Rock, when he switches back in, it's a roll if Cofagrigus knocks him out, which is severely in Hydreigon's favor, but it's still a roll, which means it's a chance. So I can go out to Deancey now, just throw off a Moonblast, no reason to predict. He's probably just going to sack Tornadus anyway. It's pretty expendable at this point. So sacks Tornadus to the Moonblast. That's one less turn that he could switch in versus my Trick Room. I am Trick Room Nasty Block Cofagrigus. Metagross is going to come out. Now, I could go out to Cofagrigus right here, but I want it healthy enough to take on Garchomp. I really do. So we're going to go for Protect just to stall him out, just to see if he has Pursuit as well. If he had Pursuit, I would stay in because it was a speed tie and I could at least risk it. But goes for the Ice Punch. I could just sack my Hippowdon. Now, I could have saved Hippowdon and, like I said, went right into Cofagrigus to get rid of Tough Claws, but that's also risking Metagross freezing me, and I did not want to risk that. So at this point, I'm able to go out to Cofagrigus. Now, Cofagrigus takes 50% from Meteor Mash, and then it gets rid of Tough Claws due to its ability Mummy. So I figure now is in my best interest to go for the Trick Room. I don't want to Nasty Plot immediately and have him go out to Hydreigon, which is actually at 34%, so it does have a chance to die. I don't want to Nasty Plot immediately and go out and have him go out to Hydreigon. So I figured Trick Room is the best play. I do knock him out with Shadow Ball. Rotom is low enough to the point where it dies to Shadow Ball plus Brave Bird. So I'm going to go for the Trick Room first as he goes out into Clefable, which is a good play to not only stall my Trick Room, but if he's Calm Mind, which it turns out he is, he can start Calm Minding up. Now, the play I decide to make here is to go for the Nasty Plot, because I need a boost to be able to knock out Hydreigon 100%, knock out Rotom 100%, knock out Metagross, and at least make it a roll on Garchomp. Had he started Calm Minding up with Clefable, I would have went hard into Bulk Up Talonflame and just started bulking up on it. But he decides to throw off a Moonblast here, which is really interesting considering had he Calm Minded up, he would have been able to take this mon on a lot better. And Sand is about to end soon, so we're going to throw off a Shadow Ball. This will be a solid 2-hit KO on the Clefable as he's going to go for another Moonblast. But because Sandstorm does end, I am now recovering HP. And this is the last turn of Trick Room. What he should have done right here was gone out into Rotom, because Rotom could Volt Switch. I would be able to knock out Rotom, but it would be able to give him his Hydreigon as a switch in. I don't know though, because I could have started bulking up with that with Talonflame, but he decides to choke. I knocked off Garchomp's item. I know that Garchomp doesn't have a Lumberry. It's a roll to knock it out with Shadow Ball, which is 80% in my favor, but I don't want to knock it out. If I burn him with my Will-O-Wisp, Cofagrigus lives any 2 hits. I could Trick Room again, and I have enough turns to just straight up sweep him. So my last turn of Trick Room, I'm going to go for the Will. You already know what happens. You already know what happens when I build it up that much. You already know Will-O-Wisp missed. And I was not able to cripple the Garchomp. By me hitting that Will-O-Wisp, not only does it allow me to reset my Trick Room, but it also puts Garchomp 100% in range of +2 Shadow Ball. Right now it's about 80% to knock him out, but I didn't want to knock him out. I wanted to burn him. But I missed. He's going to go for a Stealth Rock. So that gives him leverage versus Diancie, versus Talonflame. And it does also reset my Trick Room. Now at this point, I could Trick Room up. I could definitely Trick Room up and go off that 80% roll, but I don't know, man. Will-O-Wisp is 85%, so I actually decided to burn him again. Now, the reason I decided to burn him right here is because if I burn him, I can potentially start setting up with my Talonflame bulk ups on him. And if I went right for Trick Room and I didn't get the 80% roll, so let's say I went for Trick Room this turn, right? Let's say I went for Trick Room this turn. His Earthquake did 42%. I went for Trick Room and I didn't get the 80% roll. My Shadow Ball would leave him just in range of Will-O-Wisp or Brave Bird for my Talonflame. And if that was the case, I had to Brave Bird him, which makes me take rough skin damage plus recoil from Brave Bird and lets Rotom knock me out with Hydro Pump after. By me at least going for Will-O-Wisp here, I could potentially just start bulking up with my Talonflame on him. And bulk up Talonflame does beat Thunder Punch Metagross with Will-O-Wisp. It can beat Rotom. And also if I went for Trick Room and I didn't get the kill on Garchomp and he knocked me out with Earthquake after, his Rotom would then outspeed my Diancie under Trick Room and could just win the game with Hydro Pump or Thunder Wave respectively. So basically a 100% win now turned into can I dodge enough Hydro Pumps and set up on Talonflame. So if I hit that Will-O-Wisp, I 100% run. I won because it put Garchomp in range of Shadow Ball 100%. So right here, maybe I should have went for the Trick Room and gone for the 80% roll because it's obviously in my favor, but then again, so was hitting Will-O-Wisp. I'm trying to explain this play because this is my thought process as I'm going on in the tour. Do I risk Trick Room or do I go for the Wisp? I decided to go for the Wisp option, which means he will be able to knock me out. Had I burnt him, he couldn't have 2-hit killed me with anything. I know he's Dragon Claw too, as a Yachi Berry. He could not have 2-hit killed me with anything. And I could have Trick Roomed up again, had 4 turns, and killed everything. But now I'm going to sack my Cofagrigus here. At least Garchomp is burnt, so I'll be able to go out to my Talonflame and just start bulking up on him. He's going to go hard Rotom, which is the best play he can make right now. I really do wish I hit that Hydro Pump. I mean, that Will-O-Wisp on him because I could have just set up again. What he should have done, actually, was go directly into Rotom on Cofagrigus and Volt Switch, because if I killed Rotom, then again, it was still iffy if he beat me because what I could do was still bulk up a Talonflame with no rocks up on the field. But I'm going to go for that bulk up as Rotom comes in. I do have Priority Roost. Obviously, Gale Wings isn't nerfed this generation. He has 5 Hydro Pumps left. So, goes for Thunder Wave. And it's like crap. But this does give me the opportunity to go for another bulk up, which lets me take on Metagross better. Unfortunately, I get full parried. It's fine, though. As long as I... he only has 4 Hydro Pumps left. So, I'm okay. I would have preferred getting that bulk up. So we're going to thankfully break through, get off the roost. And right here, it's going to come down to will he hit this Hydro Pump versus me. It actually just comes down to this Hydro Pump. I get off the roost, and he misses the Hydro Pump. First miss of the game. Deserved. I miss Will-O-Wisp. We're going to go for another roost right here, though, as he is going to go for his Hydro Pump. And at this point, I think he only has one more. I believe he only has one more Hydro Pump. That is his last Hydro Pump. So, Talonflame has successfully roost-stalled the Rotom, but Para's finally going to come into place, and he's going to be able to Volt Switch on me. Had that not happened, I would have been able to roost up to full, or not full, but about, I'm going to say 70%. Volt Switch wouldn't have done too much, maybe like 20-something%. It's Talonflame because I lose my Flying type, obviously, when I roost. And then, what I could have done was Brave Birded Metagross to put it in range of Diancie's Moonblast, or if I wasn't able to put it in range, at least potentially burn it because I can lift Thunder Punch and Roost. Obviously, lose my super effectiveness to it. I guess if Metagross had Earthquake, we'd be playing around with that, but he might be Hammer Arm. I know his team, but I don't 100% know his team. But basically, I'm gonna go down there, and it is a speed type. I'm not HP Fire DNC. I changed it. I don't want to say my set, just in case I decide to use this again. But right here, he's just going to win the speed tie. He's going to be able to knock me out with Ice Punch, and that's going to be game. So, really unfortunate. Carfagus would have came through. Poek definitely through by not going for Calm Mind with Clefable, by going for Stealth Rock with Garchomp. I understand why he got up Stealth Rock, because he wanted some leverage versus my Talonflame in the back. But you had the giant mummy in front of you as a threat, and it worked out for him. He was rewarded for it, because obviously I missed Will-O-Wisp. But like I said, had I hit that Will-O-Wisp, I set up Trick Room again, and I just won. I just won the game with Shadow Ball. But sometimes Pokemon doesn't go the way you want it to go. In any case, guys, hope you all enjoyed my week 1 of SPL. I'll definitely be back with week 2. I'm not sure if I'm playing ORAS because the Wolfpack, I'm like a throw-around player. You put me where the hell. Last year I played like 5 or 6 different gens, 4 or 5 different gens for SPL. But like I said, guys, hope you all enjoyed. And yeah, unfortunately I'm not able to beat rank number 1. It's okay though. We'll come back week 2. Goodbye, friends.